This Beat Saber hack actually works. A while ago on Twitter, I saw a few people talking about this controller hack for Beat Saber. I believe it was Monty, I'll have to try and find the tweet. And that hack was to add tennis grips to your VR controller. If you're not familiar with what tennis grip is, it's essentially a tape that you add to your tennis racket on the bit that you hold to improve the grip of the racket. And I don't know who came up with the idea to use these for VR controllers, but they work. Not only are they cheap, this little pack here cost me $10, but they also come in super cute colors. So today I'll be putting these on my Quest controllers. I've been using them on my Index controllers and absolutely loving it. So this is what it looks like in the packet. It's just kind of like some rolled up tape, and it looks a bit shiny, which at first I was concerned about, but that shiny stuff actually comes off. And what's mind-blowing about this material is that it's sticky, but it doesn't feel sticky. Like, it doesn't leave any sticky residue. It doesn't feel sticky to touch, but it sticks really well onto plastic surfaces and when wrapped around itself. This little attachment, which is around the tape, that's what you use to actually secure the tape to the controller. But I found I don't need to use this, but don't throw that away just in case. If you are using this on an Index controller, you have to keep in mind that it may affect the grip. I found it affected it a little bit, but it was still kind of usable. You just have to be conscious to squeeze extra tight. And if you're using it on a Quest controller, you have to keep in mind that it's going to cover the battery cover. So when you need to replace batteries, you'll have to remove the tape. But I'm finding with this material that you can just kind of keep reusing it. It doesn't lose any stickiness. It's really cool. So for now, I've taken off the plastic on the either side, and I'm just going to run it underneath my controller button because we obviously don't want to cover that. So we're going to start wrapping it around, and you want to try and kind of keep it, I guess, tight so we don't get any bubbles or weird bits. So you want to be really careful you don't run it too close to the button because it will get stuck if it's rubbing against the button. Doing a crisscross effect will probably get you without the least amount of bubbles, but because it's a small area and it is kind of like a curved shape, you will kind of get like weird bubbles. So when you're happy, you can cut it off. So once it's cut, you can either just kind of like let it to use the grip. It may come loose over time, but I find the grip of it on itself does a pretty good job. Otherwise, you can use that sticker that we had earlier to kind of stick it down to keep it secure. But this tape just adds so much more grip to the controller. I am kind of curious if there's other ways you can maybe run it as well around the rings, but of course you don't want to affect the sensors or any of the buttons, but this just adds so much. I find grip is the biggest issue I have with the Quest controllers. I find them kind of slippery, especially if you've been playing for a while and your hands get a bit sweaty. So this grip kind of resolves that issue. A lot of silicone controller covers kind of also have that issue with the sweat where they just kind of feel slippery. But this grip just feels so good, and I'm really stoked I've discovered this solution because I think it's my new favorite way to add grip to controllers now. Another hack you could add into the mix as well, you can remove the battery cover and then remove the armrest strap from the bottom, and you can hook it around the ring up the top to add kind of like a strap to the controller. So if we add our wrist strap through the ring of the controller, and then we want to hook through the bottom of the wrist strap through the loop we just created, so it attaches like that. And then we can slot the wrist strap back into the battery cover area and then put our battery cover back on. So now we have this additional wrist strap for our Quest controller. And the goal behind this is that you want to loosely hold your controller when playing Beat Saber so you can get full mobility of your wrist. So if we use this and then that grip tape, I feel like this is going to be a really good, cheap solution for improving grip on your Quest controller for Beat Saber. All right, there we go. There's the finished result. So that's using the tennis grip tape and using that little trick to add the wrist strap around the side to make it more like a side strap to improve your grip on the controller. Let me know in the comments if you're going to try out this hack, and if you found this video useful, don't forget to leave a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video.